approximately what I'm getting here is 163 into 10 power 6. So final value what you will have here is 256 microjoule. Power is equal to 6 pi eta R.
Which will give you primary alcohol and definitely not turbidity in beta with respect to each other. So this is carboxylic, this is alpha, and then this is beta.
Here it will be what? 1. It will be 1 and 0. And here it will be 0 and 1. This 2 minus 2 power n will get cancelled with the positive 2 power n in the previous term.
Hello everyone, FT-6 solution video. First question is 3 bucks A, B and C of masses 3 gram, 5 gram and 2 gram respectively are moving on a horizontal cardboard placed on a smooth table. Buck A is moving with an acceleration of 1 centimeter per second square in east direction, while Buck C is moving with an acceleration of 2 centimeter per second square in north direction. Buck B is moving such that cardboard remains stationary, which means what they are trying to state is even though Buck B is moving, so it is going to be in rest position. So mark the correct option. So this is the question. So what we can do first, we can find out. So what is the force? Actually, one who is moving here, Buck A and Buck C is moving, right? So one is moving in the east direction and another one is moving in the north direction, which means perpendicular to each other. So how we will find out Buck A force? So mass of A and acceleration of A. So what is the mass of A is 3 gram and acceleration of it is 1 centimeter per second square. Shall I write it as 3 times? And Buck C mass will be 2 gram and acceleration would be 2 centimeter per second square. Shall I write it as 4 times? So what is the resultant force now? Since the angle between these two is 90 degree, so root of FA square plus FC square. So what I will get here? Root of 3 square plus 4 square. So the resultant force would be 5 times. Now we need to make a note of this point, remain stationary. So the resultant force of A and C is getting balanced by the Buck B. Then only the cardboard remains stationary. So what I'm considering here is FB would be 5 times. So force on Buck B is 5 times. Okay. So what is the mass of it? 5 gram. So what would be the acceleration then of Buck B? So 1 centimeter per second square. And we need to find out what is that direction also. So what shall I write now? Tan theta would be equal to FA divided by FC. So what I will have? 3 by 4. So theta would be 53 degree. So the answer is C. Second question. In a heating arrangement, an alternating current having a peak value of 28 ampere is used. To produce the same heat energy, if the constant current is used, its magnitude must be. So produce the same heat energy. So whenever a current, alternating current produces through a resistor for a time t, right? So for example, this is alternating current and the direct current producing through the same amount of resistor for the same time, right? So the heat energy produced would be equal. Then we will call this as RMS value of the alternating current. So what I will do now to produce the same heat energy dimension. So I'm just going with RMS value. So IRMS is equal to I naught by root 2, right? So peak value here, what they mention is 28 divided by root 2. So after the calculation, the answer is about 20 ampere approximately. And next question is, in a nuclear reactor, plutonium is used as fuel, releasing energy by its fission into isotopes of barium and strontium. So through the reaction, they mentioned here. So the binding energy per nucleon of each of these nucleides is given in the below table. So plutonium, barium, strontium, right? So using the information, one can estimate the number of such fission reactions per second. So number of fission reactions per second. So shall I write it as dN by dt? So what shall I do? dN by dt would be equal to power divided by released energy. So released energy, how shall I find it out? See, these all are the products what I received, right? So products minus the source. So what shall I do now? So what is the mass number? 146 into 8.2 plus 91 into 8.6 minus of the source value 239 into 7.6. So by calculating the Q value, and here power what they mention is 100 megawatt. So what shall I write here? dN by dt, which would be equal to 100 megawatt, 100 into 10 power 6, 10 power 8 divided by this Q value. Approximately what I'm getting here is 163 into 10 power 6. So after the calculation, what I'm getting here is 3.9 into 10 power 18. High power lasers are used to compress gas plasmas by radiation pressure. So the reflectivity of a plasma is unity if the electron density is high enough. A laser generating pulses of radiation of peak power 1.5 gigawatt is focused onto 1.3 millimeter square of high electron density plasma. So find the pressure exerted on the plasma. So we are having the formula for pressure of reflection and as well as refraction. So reflection pressure, what we know, 2I by C. So for refraction, it is I by C, which means transmitter. So this would be equal to, this is here P stands for pressure. This would be equal to 2I by C. So what we know as intensity, power divided by area. So shall I write it as 2 by C into power by area. So 2 into, what is the power they mentioned? 1.5 giga, 10 power 9 divided by C is 3 into 10 power 8. And here comes area is 1.3 into 10 power minus 6. Okay. So after the calculation, what we are getting is 7.7 megapascal. The radiation corresponding to 3 to 2 transition of a hydrogen atom falls on a gold surface to generate photoelectrons. These electrons are passed through a magnetic field of 5 into 10 power minus 4 Tesla. Assume that the radius of the largest circular path followed by these electrons is 7 millimeter. Work function of the metal is mass of the electron dimension. So how we will find out the work function? So if the photon of energy h nu is incident on a metal, the electron in the metal having the work function, minimum energy is work function, and the remaining energy, remaining incident energy is imparted as the kinetic energy. Right? So how shall I write? Incident photon energy is equal to work function plus maximum kinetic energy. So now what they are asking, work function. How shall I find out the work function? Incident photon energy minus kinetic energy. Okay. So now what I need to find out is incident photon energy. Incident photon energy, how we can find it out now? N1 to 2, right? 3 to 2, right? Transition they mentioned. So during 3 to 2, so what is the energy difference? 1.89 electron volt. So this should be the incident photons, right? So kinetic energy, how shall I find out the kinetic energy? Half m v square. So how shall I write it as p square by 2m, right? So now electrons are passed through a magnetic field. Magnetic field value they mention and circular path they mention. So what I will do? Magnetic field, because of magnetic field, the force what I'm getting is BQV sine theta. So for maximum force BQV, which would be equal to mv square by r. So V and V would cancel. So mv is equal to BQR. So momentum would be PBQR. So kinetic energy, what I'm writing here is BQR the whole square divided by 2m. So B value is mentioned and Q value, right? 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. And R value, what they mention is 7 millimeter. So what I will write here is 7 into 10 power minus 3. And mass, they mention it as 9.1 into 10 power minus 31. So by substituting all the values, we will get kinetic energy. The value is 1.077 electron volt. Now work function, you can find it out. 1.89 minus 1.077 in terms of electron volt. So the answer would be 0.183, approximately 0.82. Now, for the thermodynamic process shown in the figure, so pressure at A, B, D and VA, VD mentioned, right? So work performed by the system along the path AD is. So along the path AD, work done along the path AD is nothing but area under AD. So this is nothing but trapezoid. So if it is a trapezoid, so formula what we know is for area half into PA plus PD into VD minus VA. So PA value is there, PD is there, VD is there, and VA is there. So if we substitute all these values now, so finally we are getting 88 Joule. So basic calculations you need to do. A galvanometer having a resistance of 50 ohm. So what they meant here is galvanometer resistance is 50 ohm, gives a full scale deflection for a current. So whenever galvanometer is giving the full scale deflection, we used to consider it as the galvanometer current 0.05 ampere. The length in meter of a resistance wire of area of cross section. So area of cross section they mention in centimeter square. We need to convert it into meter square. So centimeter to meter square 10 power minus 4. Already 10 power minus 2 is there. So 10 power minus 6 meter square. That can be used to convert the galvanometer into an ammeter, which can read a maximum of 5 ampere current. So specific resistance also they mention. So this thing. So the length in meter, what they're asking is length in meter. So how shall we do? Galvanometer into ammeter. So voltage across that, because it is going to be connected in parallel combination, shunt combination. So IgG would be equal to ISS. So the shunt resistance only they are asking. So IgG minus I minus Ig. What is IM? The total. 5 ampere, right? So now for this shunt resistance, what we are going to write is they mention specific resistance and they give area. What they're asking is length. So what I'm writing here is rho L by A. So now substitute rho L by A. This is equal to IgG divided by I minus Ig. So what shall I do now? L is equal to IgG divided by I minus Ig into rho. So all are known values now. Ig value we know 0.05 ampere and G value we know 50 ohm, and area we converted into meter square, and again I value total current is 5 ampere, and then specific resistance resistivity has been mentioned, so we can substitute this. So after the calculation what we are getting here is 3 meter. Consider 3-point objects P, Q, R. So P and Q repel each other. So if it is repelling each other, it should be similar charge only. I'm considering, for example, both are positive. And while P and R attract. So P and R attract. So if P and R attract these, it should be the negative charge, which means dissimilar charge. So what is the nature of force between Q and R? Obviously, it will also do attract. An experiment measures quantities x, y, z, and then t is calculated from the data as t is equal to x, y square divided by z cube. So percentage error in x, y, z or respectively 1, 3, 2 percentage, then percentage error in t is. So how shall I do? Delta t by t percentage, which would be equal to delta x by x into 100 percentage plus 2 into delta y by y into 100 percentage plus 3 into delta z by z into 100 percentage. So what shall I do right now? So here delta x by x into, which means percentage error in x is 1 percentage plus 2 into 3 percentage plus 3 into 2 percentage. So what we are getting 1 plus 6 percentage. So 12 plus 1, 13 percentage. In Sear's experiment for determination of Young's modulus, when a load of 50 kilogram is added to a 3 meter long wire, right? So 50 kilogram is mass, what they mentioned, added to a 3 meter long wire. So L would be 3 meter, right? So micrometer screw having a pitch 1 millimeter needs to be given a quarter turn, right? So 1 millimeter need a quarter turn. So what is the change in value? 1 by 4 millimeter. In order to restore the horizontal position or split level, Young's modulus of the wire, if its cross-sectional area is, area also they mentioned. So what is the formula we know for Young's modulus? Stress divided by strain. So what is stress? Force by area divided by change in length by original length. So now what are the things we are having? Force we need to calculate. Here they mentioned 50 kilogram, right? And force by area they mentioned, and delta L is there. So by substituting all these things, so this force now force is mg 500 Newton. So I is equal to, so F L divided by A delta L. So F is 500 Newton into L would be 3 divided by area. Area what you can write is 10 power minus 5 into 1 by 4 into 10 power minus 3. 1 by 4 you can write it as 0.25 also. So the final answer would be 6 into 10 power 11 Newton per meter square. A fire hydrant pipe delivers water of density rho with uniform speed v. The pipe has uniform cross-sectional area. Net force on the pipe would be, right? So net force on the pipe would be 0. Why? Because, right? So change in linear momentum would be 0 because uniform speed, uniform cross-sectional area. Okay, so it would be 0. Power radiated by a perfectly black body is P naught, and wavelength corresponding to maximum energy is lambda naught. And changing the temperature of wavelength corresponding to maximum energy is increased by lambda naught by 2. The power radiated by the body will be. Okay, so P1 you consider it as P naught. What they are asking is P2. Okay, so first initially temperature is T1, right? So you can consider it as T. Lambda 1 would be lambda naught. So initially the temperature is T2. They are changing the temperature. when the temperature is changed, lambda 2 would become increased by lambda naught by 2. So what would be the answer then? 3 lambda naught by 2. So according to Stephen's law, what we know is power is directly proportional to fourth power of the absolute temperature. So what shall I write now is P1 by P2 is equal to, okay, T1 by T2, the whole power 4. Now what shall I write again? So lambda T, Wien's displacement law, lambda T would be constant. So lambda is proportional to 1 by T. So what shall I write now? T1 by T2 is equal to lambda 2 by lambda 1. So what is lambda 2 here? 3 lambda naught divided by 2 divided by lambda naught the whole power 4. So what I will have? P1 by P2 would be equal to 81 by 16. So what they are in need? P2 only. So P1 we are keeping it as P0. So what I will have here? 16 P0 divided by 81. A diode used in the circuit shown in the figure has a constant drop of 0.5 volt for at all currents and a maximum power rating of 100 milliwatts. What should be the value of resistor R connected in series with the diode for obtaining the maximum current? So diode has this much of potential drop at all currents dimension. So with the maximum power of this. So power is equal to, what is the formula? We know VI. So 100 milliwatts. Shall I write it as 10 power minus 1? Which would be equal to 0.5 volt into I. So what I will have, I is equal to 1 by 5. So this would be 0.2 ampere. Okay. So now for resistance. So resistance, change in potential. What is the change in potential? Here it is 1.5. This is 0.5. What is the net potential? 1 volt. R is equal to V by I. I is 0.2. So what is the value then? 5 ohm. And the next question is, in the given circuit, a charge of 80 microcoulomb is given to the left plate of a 4 microfarad capacitor. Then in steady state, energy stored inside 2 microfarad capacitor will be. So this is the question. So now what we can do is, see here, potential is going to be same. C is equal to Q by V. So V is equal to Q by C. So if you are considering this is Q1 and Q2, so what shall I write then? Q1 by Q2 would be equal to 2 by 3, right? So since they are in series combination, when they are in series combination, charge is constant. So if the charge is constant, charge across or a charge through 4 microfarad, which should be equal to the charge through combination of 2 microfarad and 3 microfarad. So the total value Q1 plus Q2, which would be equal to 80 microcoulomb. Okay, so from this value, if we are finding Q2, what you will have? 3 by 2 Q1. This would be equal to 80 microcoulomb. So by solving this, we will get Q1 as 32 microcoulomb. And by substituting this value over here, Q2, what we will have is 48 microcoulomb. So now the question is very clear. What they are asking is energy stored inside the 2 microfarad capacitor. So how you can calculate half C V square, whereas I can go with half Q square by C. So what is Q square? 32, which means Q1 no here. So 32 micro into 32 micro divided by, so what is C over here? 2 microfarad. So what you can do? Micro will get cancelled, right? So you just cancel this thing also. 8. Okay, now. So final value what you will have here is 256 microjoule. Now, the moment of inertia of an equilateral triangular lamina of mass M and side length L about an axis in the plane of lamina and parallel to one side, as shown in figure is, right? So now for this, you just consider this as I1 and here about this thing is I2. So to the center, right? So what we know, I1 is M h square by 6, which is equal to M by 6 into h square value. So this is L, this is half of that. So h value would be root 3 by 2 L the whole square. So what is the final value? M L square by 8. So now this root 3 by 2L, if you are just splitting it out, you can write x1 as L by 2 root 3 and x2 as L by root 3. So 3L by 2 root 3. 3L by 2 root 3, 3 and root 3 will get cancelled. Again, what you will have? Root 3 by 2L. So what can you write now? I1 would be equal to moment of inertia through center of mass plus M x1 square. Okay. So now from this, what is I1? You find it out. m L square by 8, and x1 value you are having L by 2 root 3. What you will write for I2? I2 is equal to IC plus m x2 square. So IC value, if you are taking from this expression, I1 minus m x1 square. So by substituting the value, what you will substitute over here? I2 is equal to, instead of IC, I1 minus m x1 square plus m x2 square. By substituting all this value, final answer what we are getting here is 3 by 8 ml square. In the given arrangement, consider pulley as the disk and string does not slip over the pulley. The time period of vertical oscillations of the block is given by, right? So this is spring force, it will experience kx, we know, and here there is a tension. This is mg weight, like you will do. Okay, so what shall I write now? There is a force, torque is acting on it. Shall I write it as ma is equal to spring force plus tension? So to the pulley, like if I apply, what I will do, torque is equal to tension into r. So moment of inertia for a disk, I should write it as mr square by 2 into alpha. This should be equal to tr. So acceleration would be alpha r. For alpha, if I substitute, what shall I write here? Mr square by 2 into, so a by r, this should be equal to tr. So if I cancel the term, r square, r, and this r, if I cancel, what I will have here, ma by 2, this should be equal to tension. Okay, so by substituting it, what shall I get here? Ma is equal to minus kx plus ma by 2 instead of tension if I substitute. So you just do rearrange all these things and calculate acceleration. So acceleration, what you will find out here? See, ma minus ma by 2, this is equal to minus kx. Okay, so by doing all the calculation and all, what we will get here is minus 2k divided by 2m plus m into x. Okay, so what is the effective mass? M effective would be equal to m plus 2m by 2, and k would be k only. So what is the formula we know for time period? So for time period, it would be t is equal to 2 pi root of m effective divided by k. So what shall I substitute now? T is equal to 2 pi root of 2m plus m divided by 2 divided by k. So t is equal to 2 pi root of m plus 2m divided by 2k. So this should be the answer. So two sources of sound placed close to each other are emitting progressive waves given by y1 and y2. An observer located near these two sources of sound will hear. So first they have given beats per second, beat frequency. Beat frequency, what we know is difference in frequency. So first of all, we need to calculate what is f1 and what is f2. So how we will find it out? 600 pi, this is equal to 2 pi f1, and 608 pi, this is equal to 2 pi f2. So what is f1 here? 300 hertz. And what is f2 here? 304 hertz. So what is beat frequency? So beat frequency is nothing but change in frequency. Beat frequency is nothing but change in frequency. So this should be 4 hertz, 4 beats per second. We are having two options. And waxing and waning, they are asking the intensity ratio. So waxing and waning, what we know, I max divided by I min. So this is nothing but a1 plus a2 the whole square divided by a1 minus a2 the whole square. So what is a1? 4. What is a2? 5. Okay, so 4 plus 5, 9 square. So 9 square, 81 divided by 5 minus 4, it would be 1. So 1. So the answer would be 4 beats per second with intensity ratio 81:1 between waxing and waning. A wave of frequency 500 hertz travels between x and y and travel a distance of 600 meters in 2 seconds. Okay, so how many wavelength are there in distance x, y? So number of waves they are asking. So the total length would be equal to number of waves, right? So one wavelength is lambda. So for example, one wavelength is 1 meter, means if there are 3 waves, so total length is 3 meters. So 3 meter is equal to 3 waves, 3 complete waves. Based on that, I have written this expression. So now what they're asking is n value. N would be L divided by lambda. Okay. So what is L here? They mentioned 600 divided by lambda value we are in need. Okay. So lambda value, how we will find it out? So 600 meter in 2 seconds velocity. What shall I write here? 600 by 2, 300 meter per second. And what else expression I know? V is equal to nu lambda. So lambda would be V divided by nu. So what is V here? 300 divided by 500. So 3 by 5. So if I substitute it over here, 300 into, so 3 by 5 means 5 by 3. So 200, answer would be 1000. In Young's double slit arrangement, slits are separated by a gap of 0.5 millimeter. So small d value, and the screen is placed at a distance of 0.5 meter. So 0.5 meter, half meter, d value. The distance between the first and third bright fringe. The distance between first and third bright fringe value would be 2 beta, right? So slits are illuminated by the monochromatic light of wavelength with this. So first we need to find out beta value. How you will calculate beta? Beta is equal to d lambda by d. Then you need to find out 2 beta value. So d lambda d, everything is given. So finally you need to find out this 2 beta. So the answer would be, so 1178 into 10 power minus 6 meter. The question is, here they mention convex mirror forms an image 1/4 size. So 1/4 size is the magnification. 1/4 size is the magnification. So if object is at a distance of 0.5 meter from the mirror, the focal length of the mirror is. So convex mirror, they mention magnification would be equal to f divided by f minus u. Object distance, what I will consider here as minus 0.5 meter. Okay. So what they are asking here is focal length. So what shall I do now? 1 by 4 is equal to f divided by f into, so minus of minus, so minus 0.5. So what I will have here, f divided by f plus 0.5. We just do cross multiply the term. So what we will have here, f plus 0.5, this would be equal to 4f. So from this we need to find out what is the focal length. What we are getting here is 0.17 meter after the calculation. An electric field of 300 volt per meter is confined to a circular area 10 centimeter in diameter. If the 10 centimeter in diameter they mention, so what we need to calculate here is radius, half of that. And electric field value also they mention. If the field is increasing at the rate of 20 volt per meter second, and if the magnitude of magnetic field at a point 15 centimeter from the center of the circle is B into 10 power minus 18 Tesla, find the value of B they are asking. So what is the formula? We know B is equal to mu naught epsilon naught dE by dt into area pi r square divided by 2 pi r. Okay, so pi and pi will get cancelled. So what you can write here, mu naught epsilon naught divided by 2r into dE by dt into r square. Okay, so the given values, if you substitute over here, no, right, you will get the final answer as 2. Two circular rings of identical radii and resistance. Radii also identical and resistance also, what they mention here is 36 ohm. Each are placed in such a way that they cross each other's at center C1 and C2. A battery of 20 volt is connected across A and B. Power delivered by battery in watts, right? So this is the question. So now what we are going to find is length of AC, right? AC, for example, AC1B or AC2B, right? This is 1/3 of the circumference. So 1/3 of the circumference, or how, what I will consider is 1/3 of the resistance. So 36 by 3, it would be 12 ohm. So if one part is 12 ohm, total is 36, means 36 minus 12 would be 24 ohm. Okay. So what is the effective resistance of AB combination? So what I will do here is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 plus 1 by R4 total value. So what I will have here, 1 by 12 plus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 24 plus 1 by 24, right? So here also like 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 divided by 24. So 6 divided by 24. So our resistance would be 4 ohm, right? This is connected to the battery of 20 volt they mentioned. And what they're asking is power. So power formula, what we know is V square by R. So what is V square? 400 by 4. So the answer would be 100 watt. A small ball of radius r and density 2 rho naught is falling in a viscous liquid of density rho naught and viscosity coefficient eta under gravity. If rate of heat produced after the ball attains the terminal velocity of this value, see here rho naught power is x, r power is 1. So all they're asking is the value of x and y, multiplication of these two. So when a ball is falling down or is traveling in a viscous liquid, it will experience the viscous force of the amount given by Stokes, 6 pi eta r v. Right? So rate of heat produced is nothing but what they're asking power. So shall I write it as force into velocity? So what I will have here 6 pi eta r v square. And we are in a position to find out the terminal velocity. What is the formula for terminal velocity? 2r square divided by 9 eta, right? So rho 1 minus rho 2, or else rho 2 minus rho 1, whatever, like you just consider it as into g. So what is the density difference? 2 rho naught minus rho naught. What I will have here? Rho naught. So 2r square divided by 9 eta into rho naught g. So substitute this value in this expression, in power expression. What we will have? Power is equal to 6 pi eta r. You need to square this thing. So 4 r square r power 4 rho naught square g square. So 9 square 81 into eta. Okay. So now we are in a position to cancel this thing also. If we are cancelling, what we will have? 27. Here it is 2 then. So power would be equal to 8 pi. So here it is eta square and eta you cancel. R power 4, R power 5, rho naught square, G square divided by 27 eta. So now you just get the value of x and y. So what is x? Sorry, x and y here. So what is x now? X is 2 and y is 5. So the answer would be 10. A horizontal beam of vertically polarized light of intensity 100 watt per meter square is sent through the two polarizing sheets. The polarizing direction of first is at 60 degree with vertical and that of second is horizontal. So this angle would be 30 degree. If the intensity of light transmitted by the pair of sheets is n, find the value of 4n. They are asking. So what shall I write now for the first sheet? When it is coming out of the first sheet, so we know I is equal to, you can consider it as I1 also, I naught cos square theta r phi. So, right? So what you will do right here, 100 into cos square 60 degree. So what we will have I1 as 100 divided by 4. This would be 25 watt per meter square. So when it is coming out of the second sheet, I2 would be I1 cos square. Now the angle is 30 degree. So what I will do right here then, 25 into, so cos 30 value 3 by 4. Okay. So what I will do right here then, 75 by 4. So the answer would be 75. The time period of a simple harmonic motion of mass m in the given figure is this value, where the value of alpha is. This is the question. It's a very simple question. What we can write is, just now we have done the same problem, 2 pi root of effective mass divided by k, spring constant. So what shall I do now? This value. What is that? Effective k1, k2 divided by k1 plus k2. So this is 2k we will write, and for this value, so 2k into k for this thing. So k1 plus k2, 2k, and this is k. So for this effective formula would be 2k dot k divided by k plus 2k. So what is the value then? 2k square divided by 3k. So the effective would be, for this particular side alone, 2k by 3. So what is the net effective? K equivalent should be equal to 2k by 3. The whole effective value for this is 2k by 3 plus k. So what is the value by taking the LCM? 5k by 3. So T should be equal to 2 pi root of mass dimension here it is m divided by 5k by 3. So this should be equal to 2 pi root of 3m divided by 5k. Now what we need to do here is, here they mention root of m by 5k is here, but outside roughly pi is there. But here I'm having 2 pi. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking this 2 into the root. So it should be 4. So I'm writing here it as pi root of 12m by 5k. Okay. So the answer would be 12. Thank you.
Hi everyone, welcome to the solution of chemistry section of this paper. Let's start with question number 1. In this question, the question is that what is the maximum speed of ejected electron in a photoelectric experiment in which the threshold wavelength, which is given to be lambda naught, and the wavelength incident on the metal surface is lambda, right? So this question is actually based upon Einstein's photoelectric equation, which says that maximum kinetic energy of the emitted electron, which we call photoelectron, is equal to h nu, which is the energy of the incident photon minus the work function of the metal, right? So kinetic energy is half mv square, and this h nu can be written as hc by lambda, and the work function can be rewritten as hc by lambda naught using Planck's quantum theory. Then this is half mv square is equal to hc, and then this is lambda naught lambda, and this is lambda naught minus lambda, and when we rearrange this, then this becomes 2hc divided by m, and the term in the bracket, which is lambda naught minus lambda, divided by lambda naught into lambda, and this whole thing is raised to the power half. So the correct answer in this question is option C. Coming to the next question, bond dissociation energy of fluorine is smaller than that of fluorine. Yes, because of the greater electron-electron repulsions, lone-by-lone repulsion in case of fluorine molecule, which in turn is because of the smaller atomic radius of fluorine. Whereas in case of fluorine, the atomic radius is much larger. That leads to lesser lone-by-lone repulsions, right? So bond dissociation energy of fluorine is smaller than that of chlorine. That statement is correct. But is the bond dissociation energy order this one? No, this is not the order. Of course, the bond dissociation energy as usual decreases down the group, right? So chlorine would have the maximum bond energy, followed by bromine, and then fluorine, and iodine would have the lowest value of the bond dissociation enthalpy. So assertion is true, but the reason is false as a statement. Moving to the next question, consider the following reactions. What is A? A gives precipitate with Ag2O, right? So it can be a terminal alkyne considering the option. So that is likely to be acetylene or propyne, right? Ethylene is ethene, and butene does not contain any acidic hydrogen. Now, if you work out the reaction sequence given at the lower side in reverse direction in retrosynthetic method, it is given turbidity within 5 minutes with the Lucas reagent ZnCl2 concentrate HCl. So that means it must be secondary alcohol, right? Because we're getting turbidity within few minutes. Tertiary alcohols give turbidity instantaneously, almost instantaneously, and primary alcohols generally do not give turbidity at room temperature. So it must be a secondary alcohol, which means it must come from the reduction of a ketone, right? So B has to be a ketone, which on reduction on with NaBH4 produces a secondary alcohol, which gives turbidity in few minutes. And if you're getting a ketone upon acid catalyzed hydration, then of course this cannot be acetylene, because acetylene has triple bond, like one triple bond with 2 carbon atoms. So it is going to lead to the formation of acetaldehyde, which will give you primary alcohol and definitely not turbidity in few minutes. So the correct answer is propyne, which upon hydration in the presence of H2 plus and H plus gives acetone, which on reduction gives isopropyl alcohol and which gives turbidity in few minutes. So the correct answer is propyne. Moving to the next question. The order of E0 M3 plus / M2 plus, right? So they're asking about the order of the reduction potential, right? So I think these orders have positive values, and this question is very much experimental, right? The order of these reduction potentials, these are experimental values, right? But in this case, the correct answer is this one, right? We can say that Rn would have the least magnitude, right? Because Fe3 plus is stable, relatively stable because of 3D5 configuration, half filled, right? So for iron, it should be more feasible to be able to exist in the form of Fe3 plus, right? Now Mn2 plus is forming 3D4, Mn3 plus is forming 3D4, and cobalt 3 plus is forming 3D6, right? So of course it would be more difficult for cobalt to form like cobalt 3 plus than compared to manganese. So as I said, these values, reduction potentials, are an interplay of the enthalpy of atomization, ionization enthalpy, and hydration enthalpy. The correct answer is this one, right? Moving to the next question. There is an acid, this one, it is COOH, then 2 methylene group, CH2CH2, and then CH with the 2 carboxylic groups. So if it is heated to 230 degrees Celsius, so you can see that there are 2 carboxylic group, which are like beta with respect to each other. So this is carboxylic, this is alpha, and then this is beta. And we know that if there is a carboxylic acid which contains a powerful electron withdrawing group, for example, keto, in this case carboxylic, at beta position, then heating leads to decarboxylation. So we can strike out one carboxylic from this molecule, leaving behind this molecule. And as you can see now, this is a dicarboxylic acid with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon atoms. So naturally, it will lead to the formation of cyclic anhydride upon heating, right? So there is the reaction that is going to take place is dehydration between these two carboxylic groups, right? So the correct answer is option D. Moving to the next question. In which of the following processes magnetic nature of a species does not change? That means if it is diamagnetic, it would remain diamagnetic. If it was paramagnetic, it would remain paramagnetic. So we know that oxygen is paramagnetic because of 2 unpaired electrons in pi star orbitals, pi star 2p orbitals, and O2 plus means one electron has been removed, right? And one electron is left, and O2 2 plus means this electron is also removed. So yes, magnetic nature does change. O2 plus is paramagnetic, whereas O2 2 plus is diamagnetic, right? F2 is diamagnetic because it has 18 electrons, and all these sigma pi star 2p and pi star 2px and pi star 2py completely filled. If we remove one electron, yes, the magnetic nature changes again, right? As far as B2 is concerned, right? So this is sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, and there is 2s2p mixing here, right? Non-crossing rule. So we have pi 2px and pi 2py if we are taking Z to be internuclear axis, right? And there are 2 electrons here. So B2 is paramagnetic because of 2 unpaired electrons, and B2 plus means we remove 1, leaving behind 1 unpaired electron. That means the magnetic nature remains the same, paramagnetic, although there is change in the value of magnetic moment. So the correct answer is C. In case of cyanide, again, there is odd number of electrons, so definitely there is a paramagnetism. Nature is changing. Coming to the next question, which is the strongest reducing agent? We know that lower the reduction potential is stronger is the tendency for oxidation, hence stronger is the reducing agent. So we can see that out of the given values, lithium has the most negative, which is the lowest reduction potential. So lithium is the strongest reducing agent in this case. Coming to the next question, that is question number 8. In this reaction, please remember that the N factor for acids is equal to the number of H plus ions which they are giving in a particular reaction. So we know in general phosphoric acid is a tribasic acid because it has 3 protons, but you can see in the salt that it still contains one ionizable, one replaceable proton. That means it has only given 2 H plus ions, right? So the N factor of H3PO4 in this reaction is 2. So the correct answer is option C. Moving to the next question, which is question number 9. The pH of 0.02 molar NH4Cl. NH4Cl is a salt of weak base. Ammonium hydroxide is strong acid HCl. So in this case, the pH is, because of hydrolysis, the pH drops below 7. And the formula is 7 minus half pKb. Right, 7 minus half pKb plus log C. Now, please remember a general point of confusion. C is not the concentration of the salt. C is the concentration of the conjugate acid of the weak base, right? Which in this case is simple. Ammonium cation, it is 0.02 molar, right? So we can substitute the given values. 7 minus half. Kb stands for minus 5, so pKb is 5, and this is log. Concentration is 2 into 10 raised to the power minus 2. So rest is simple calculation. You can do this. Log 2 into 10 to minus 2 is minus 2 plus log 2 is given 0.301. So when you do this, calculation, then you get the answer to be 5.35. Okay. Moving to the next question. Question number 10. So if you look carefully, then this is nothing but the dissociation of water into H plus and OH minus. And we know that it is opposite of the, this is basically the ionic product of water, right? So when water dissociates into H plus and OH minus, so this is Kw, right, which is ionic product of water. And for simplicity, I can just write it, like H plus and OH minus. This is 10 raised to the power minus 14, ionic product of water at 298 Kelvin. And the question is, what is the value of standard Gibbs energy? So standard Gibbs energy is going to be minus 2.303 RT log K. So this question is indeed simple, just a bit of calculation. Right, so 2.303 multiplied by the value of R is 8.314. They have not given any value. So you take 8.314, the exact one. The temperature is 298 and log 10 raised to the power minus 14. So you might remember that 2.303 into 8.314 is minus 19.15. Remember this value, it's important one. Okay, 298 and log 10 to the minus 14 is minus 14. All right, so when you multiply this, right, and divided by 1000 to convert it into kilojoule, then you will get the answer as positive value, right? And it's approximately 80 kilojoule per mole. Moving to the next question, which of the following is incorrect? Okay, it shows ionization isomerism. Yes, NO2 minus can go outside, chloride ion can come inside the coordination entity. C1H35 ONO Cl2 shows linkage isomerism. Yes, ONO can be present as NO2, right? So Cl and NO2 upon exchange show ionization isomerism, and this one shows linkage isomerism. Solution of this absorbs orange red color from the white light. So this is a little bit based on a like a mnemonic or a short trick that observed and absorbed like color. They are complementary to each other, and sometimes we predict this using this color wheel, which is based on VIBGYOR, the visible spectrum in which we drop the indigo, right? So this is violet, this is blue, and this is green, yellow, orange, and red, right? So we know one thing for sure, that CuH2O4 plus 2, it appears blue, right? So yes, it must be absorbing somewhere around orange, red. So yes, this statement is correct. The statement is color of ruby is because of the presence of cobalt 3 plus ion. So this is incorrect. It is not because of the presence of cobalt 3 plus ions. It is because of the presence of chromium 3 plus ions, right? So that's the factual question. So this is incorrect. Okay. Moving to the next question, question number 12. Phenol on reaction with dilute nitric acid gives two products. We know that it gives ortho and paranitrophenol, which are, like orthonitrophenol, because of intramolecular hydrogen bonding, is steam volatile. So they can be separated by steam distillation, right? So the correct answer here is option C. Next question, again, very simple question. Which of the following compound gives 2,4-DNP test? It is a test given by aldehydes and ketones. The only carbonyl compound here is option C, right? That's a ketone. It will give 2,4-DNP test. Coming to the next question, 1 bromopropane is reacted with reagents in list 1 to give the product in list 2. Okay, so if we react 1 bromopropane with alcoholic KOH, we know that this is mainly the elimination, right? The E2 elimination. So we are going to get an alkene. So A should match with third, right? Well, that gives you correct answer. You don't have to even work beyond that. But anyway, alcoholic KCN like ethanolic KCN will result in the formation of CN, which is nitrile. So B matches with first one. Yes. C should match with fourth. Yes. So in case of AgNO2, it's NO2 minus ion, which is covalently bonded to silver. So nitrogen is free to attack, right? So it forms nitroalkane. So C matches with fourth, and CH3CO Ag is a very popular way to form ester. So that matches with second. Moving to the next question. Question number 15. The fifth period of the periodic table contains 18 elements, not 32. Well, this question should strike, your mind within a moment, because who doesn't know the periodic table, right? This modern periodic table. So yes, fifth period contains 18 elements, right? It contains 5s, it contains 4d and 5p, right? And it is because of the energies, like increase in energies. Yes, this is because of increase in this energies. So the correct answer here is yes, option A. That is the correct answer. Moving to the next question. Okay, so which of the following order of leaving groups is incorrect? So we know that leaving group ability is inversely proportional to the basic strength, right? So iodide is the best leaving group. Yes, that is correct, because HI is the strongest acid and HF is the weakest acid among these. So fluoride is the poorest leaving group. This is correct. Option B is also correct, because greater the resonance stabilization, weaker the conjugate base, better the leaving group. In this case, yes, again, neutral molecules are better leaving groups. Methanol, because it's weaker base compared to methoxide. But Cl minus and H minus, what is the conjugate acid of Cl minus? That's HCl. And what is the conjugate acid of H minus? That's H2. So definitely HCl is much stronger, which means chloride is a much weaker base than hydride, and hence the better leaving group. So in this case, this should have been the order, and hence the correct answer is this one. Moving to the next question. In Dumas method for the estimation of nitrogen, 0.3 gram of an organic compound gave 50 ml of nitrogen collected at 300 Kelvin temperature and 715 millimeter of mercury pressure. Calculate the percentage composition of nitrogen in the compound. So in Dumas method, you do the question in two steps. First, you figure out the volume of nitrogen gas evolved in the experiment under STP conditions, right? By using the very simple and famous combined gas law, right? P1 V1 by T1 is equal to P2 V2 by T2. The pressure of the gas is 715, right? Minus 15 for aqueous tension, right? So please remember that this is 715 is the pressure because of nitrogen gas and because of water vapor. So the pressure because of nitrogen gas is 700. Volume is given to be 50 divided by temperature is 300, right? Final pressure at STP is 1 atm, which is 760, and volume is V2 divided by temperature. At STP, we take it to be 273. The volume, when you calculate, this will come out to be approximately 41.9 ml, right? And now you apply a unitary method. We know that at STP, if we have 22,400 ml of nitrogen, that translates to 28 gram of mass. So if we have 41.9 ml of nitrogen, you can as well as take it to be 42 ml, right? So this is 28 divided by 22400 multiplied by 41.9 gram of nitrogen. Okay. And then it's a little bit of nasty calculation. They have asked what is the percentage nitrogen. So that is a mass of nitrogen, which is 28 multiplied by 41.9 divided by 22400. This is the mass of nitrogen divided by the mass of compound, which is 0.3, right? And this is multiplied by 100. of course, to calculate percentage, then the correct answer will come out to be around 17.5%. All right. So moving to the next question, that is question number 18. There is an aldehyde. It reacts with ammonia, followed by reaction with HCN, which is cyanohydrin formation, and then followed by acidification or hydrolysis. This gives an amino acid, the amino acid which cannot be prepared in this way. Okay, so the correct answer here is going to be glycine, right? Because we know that if R is H, then this compound is going to be formaldehyde, but formaldehyde reacts with ammonia differently, generally, like for example, forming urotropine, right? So R has to be an alkyl group in this case, right? But if R is alkyl group, right, on reaction with ammonia, it forms this imine, right, aldimine, which on reaction with HCN will form this one, and which upon hydrolysis, right, will form this NH3 plus and CO minus if you are taking like medium. So yes, this R cannot be H, right? So it can be alanine, which has the side chain of methyl group. It can be valine, it can be leucine, but it cannot be glycine. So correct answer is glycine. Moving to the next question, question number 19, the coordination number of cobalt and aluminum. This is indeed very easy question. En is ethylene diamine, a bidentate ligand. There are two bidentate ligands, so a total of 4 donor atom. Fifth one is chlorine. So cobalt is bonded to 5 donor atom, that is its coordination number. In potassium trioxalato aluminate, there are 3 oxalate, and each oxalate ion is a bidentate ligand again. That makes it a total of 6 donor atoms that are joined to aluminum. So correct answer is going to be 5 and 6. Moving to the next question, question number 20. 5 gram of urea is dissolved in 1 kg of water. If the solution is cooled to minus 0.2 degrees Celsius, then how many grams of ice would separate? This is one of the standard type of questions asked from colligative properties under depression of freezing point. Now the logic here is that if the solution is cooled to minus 0.2 degrees Celsius, that means some, obviously, like some water which is solvent in the solution would come out, it would separate as ice, but the remaining system would still exist as an aqueous solution of urea. So the logic here is that whatever temperature of cooling is given, that has to be your depression of freezing point, right? Because we are cooling solution to that temperature and still there is some solution left, right? So the depression freezing point is 0.2. It is positive number, 0.2 degrees Celsius or Kelvin. Then Ventov factor will be 1 because urea is non-dissociative. Then value of Kf, which is 1.86, right? So when solvent is separating, ice is separating, we assume that urea will not come out when water will crystallize as ice. So urea will remain constant, that is 5. The molar mass of urea is 60, so number of moles is 5 divided by 60. And let's say the mass of water is still remaining in the liquid form is W in gram multiplied by 1000, right? To convert, of course, W into kg. So the W is the mass of water still remaining as liquid, and this is like 1.86 multiplied by 5000 divided by 60 and 0.2. So when you calculate it, right, you will realize that this is coming out to be 775 gram, right? Earlier you had 1 kg of water. Now there is 775 gram of water in the solution. So that means 225 gram of water has crystallized out in the form of ice. Coming to the next question, a very easy one. If the equivalent weight of a metal A is 3 times that of oxygen, now the equivalent weight of oxygen is 8, right? So the equivalent weight of metal is 24. Now the weight of the oxide, so when you say equivalent weight of the oxide, it is like, please remember, as per the law of chemical equivalence, for any compound, the equivalent weight is simply the sum of the equivalent weights of the cation and anion, right? So the equivalent weight of metal oxide would be the equivalent weight of metal, which is 24, plus equivalent weight of oxygen, which is 8. That makes a total of 32. So the answer is X by Y. The weight of its oxide is X by Y times the weight of the metal. Okay, so weight of the oxide is 32 and the weight of the metal is 24, right? So this is 4 by 3. So that makes your X and this makes your Y. So X plus Y is 7. So the correct answer of this question is 7. Moving to the next question, how many isomers are obtained by the halogenation of ethane? So approach this question carefully, right? Because you have to consider all isomers here, not just monohalogenation. The question has not mentioned monohalogenation. You have to consider all the isomers, right? So I can replace one halogen, that will give me CH2, CH2X, right? I can replace 2 halogen. There are 2 ways of doing this. Either I can put 1 halogen on each carbon, or I can put both the halogens on the same carbon atom. Then I can put 3 halogens. Again, there are 2 ways. Either I can put 3 halogens on the same carbon atom, or I can put 1 halogen on 1 carbon and the remaining 2 halogen on the other 2 carbon. Then there are tetrahalogenated product, right? How you can do it? Either you put 2 halogen on each carbon, or you put 1 halogen on one carbon and 1 halogen on 3 halogens on other carbon. There is no other choice, right? Then there are 5, there's only one choice, I guess, right? 3 plus 2, and there is 6, there is also one choice, like all the hydrogens are halogenated. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, pentahalogenated 8, and hexahalogenated 9. So the total number of isomers that are formed in this one is 9. Moving to the next question, the number of amines that can be prepared using Gabriel thalamide synthesis. Please remember that Gabriel thalamide synthesis is a method used to prepare primary aliphatic amines, right? So we can prepare this one, of course. We can also prepare this one. It's a primary, amine. We can also prepare this one, but not aniline, because halobenzene does not undergo the typical, it will not react under the conditions of Gabriel thalamide. Then secondary amine cannot be prepared. This is vinyl. We cannot prepare this because if this amine is prepared, it would have to come from this compound, but you know that vinyl halides do not react via SM2. Okay, methylamine, yes, we can prepare it, right? So we can prepare a total of 4 compounds using Gabriel thalamide synthesis in this case. Question number 24, the rate constant for the reaction 3A plus B gives product was found to be this. Now, the moment you read this question, you should realize that when we study chemical kinetics, the order of a reaction can be identified by the unit of the rate constant if it is given, which indeed is the case here, right? So we know that the unit of rate constant is mole per liter, 1 minus n, second inverse. N is the overall order of the reaction. In this case, it is liter mole inverse square. So I can say that it is, minus 2. Right? Because that's how it makes mole inverse square and liter square. So when you compare these two terms, that means 1 minus n is equal to minus 2, or n is equal to 3. So overall the reaction is third order. So all this data that, like given the different values of rate constant, they are really not required, right, in order to work out this question. Moving to the last question, while performing a thermodynamics experiment, a student made the following observations: HCl plus NaOH. This is the enthalpy of neutralization for strong acid and strong base for 1 mole of water formed. Now, acetic acid is a weak acid, and we have learned that in case of weak acid or base, some amount of energy is consumed in ionization, because weak acids and weak bases, by definition, they're not completely ionized. So we can use a simple equation that in such cases, the enthalpy of neutralization is minus 57.3 value, which is, the ideal value, the enthalpy released upon neutralization of a strong acid by a strong base, plus the enthalpy of ionization of a weak acid or weak base, whichever is given in the question. So enthalpy is given to be minus 55.3, and this is minus 57.3 plus enthalpy of ionization, and that comes out to be a simple value of plus 2. So the correct answer to this question is 2. So that's all in this solution. Thank you for watching. Bye.
So good evening, everybody. In this session, we will be discussing the solution for the 6th full syllabus test, of mathematics. The first question is actually from binomial theorem. What they have asked, if the expansion of some expression they have given, and in that expansion, you will observe that the 7th term from the beginning and 7th term from the end, the ratio of these two terms is given to be 1:6, and they are asking a value of n, See, for this, only thing you should know is general term of binomial theorem. That is what? General term of binomial expansion is what? T of r plus 1. That is what? NCR x power n minus r y power r. Right? This is what? This is the general term of binomial expansion of x plus y the whole power n. This is what is the general term. So what will be the general term expression for the 7th term and 7th term from the last? I will write the ratio directly. It will be what? NC6, right? 2 power 1 by 3 power 1 minus 6, right? N minus 6, and 3 power negative 1 by 3 whole power 6, And what about the denominator? It will be NC n minus r, And it will be what? 2 power 1 by 3 the whole power 6, right? And 3 power negative 1 by 3 whole power n minus 6. And this ratio is known to be 1 upon 6, right? They have given it as 1:6, So, and NCR is same as NC n minus r. You can cancel those two. And then if you simplify, if you just substitute these answers and check which among these expressions will give the correct result, you can get the answer. But if you want it in a more simplified way or in a descriptive way, I will do it, But the simplest way is what? Keeping n equal to 7, 8, 9, and 10, and check which among these 4 options will give the fraction value as 1 upon 6, So we will solve it, however, When this 2 power 1 by 3 whole power 6 goes to the numerator, it will become 2 power 1 by 3 the whole power n minus 12, And when this 3 power minus 1 by 3 whole power n minus 6 goes to the numerator, it will be what? 3 power minus 1 by 3 the whole power 6 minus n plus 6, right? That is what? 12 minus n, right? That is 1 upon 6, right? And if you cross multiply, what you will get? Or yeah, you can cross multiply, right? It will be what? 3 power 1 by 3 the whole power 12 minus n, that will be equal to 2 power 1, 6 times 2 power 1 by 3 the whole power n minus 12, okay? N minus 12, okay? Now you again divide this 2 power 1 by 3 the whole power n minus 12 on the other side. It will be what? 2 into 3, that is 6 power 1 by 3 the whole power, right? It will be 12 minus n, that is equal to 6, right? That means what? And 6 is what? 6 power 1, right? That means 12 minus n whole divided by 3 is 1, right? That means n is equal to 9, okay? That is third option, 9, okay? But whenever you see such questions in MCQs, you just put all these 4 options. Any one will satisfy this particular equation, that you can mark it instead of working out as a descriptive question, okay? Yes, so we will move to the next question. Yes, this is what is the next question. Actually, they have given the ratio of the first, third, and fifth term to that of first, second, and third term of a geometric progression as 3. Okay, that means what? A plus AR square plus AR power 4 upon A plus AR square, right? That is known to be 3, right? So, if you pull out A from the numerator as well as from the denominator, what you will be getting? 1 plus R square plus R power 4 will be equal to 3 times 1 plus R square. Or just keep it like this, okay? Equal to 3, right? And what I will do now is I will add and subtract R square in the numerator, okay? Because we can complete the squares, okay? So I will write the numerator as 1 plus 2R square plus R power 4 minus R square, right? And the denominator will be as it is, 1 plus R square, right? Now, this is what of the form of A square plus 2AB plus B square, right? Where A is 1 and B is R square. So you can write this as what? 1 plus R square whole square, right? Minus R square. This can be written as R the whole square, right? And denominator will be what? 1 plus R square, right? That is known to be 3. So A square minus B square identity you can apply and write as A plus B times A minus B. That A plus B will be what? It will be 1 plus R square. That will cancel with the denominator. Only thing which will be left out is 1 plus R square minus R equal to 3, right? Now what you do is you need not solve it. Just put all these 4 values and check which will satisfy this equation, okay? So I will check for half. Right, 1 plus 1 by 4 minus 1 by 2, that is not 3. Here also, 1 plus 1 by 9 minus 1 by 3, that is not 3. Okay, for 3, I will check. 1 plus 9 minus 3 is what? 7, that is not 3. Right, for 2, we will check now. 1 plus, so obviously, if these 3 are not correct, 2 should be the answer. Check. 1 plus 4, that is 5, minus 2, that is 3. Yeah, right, okay. So, answer should be 2. Yes. So, we will move to the next question. They are asking total number of possible integral solutions of given equation. Okay, they have given an equation and they are asking the integral solutions. Okay, for this what we can do is we can first eliminate, because there are 2 mod signs involved in the same side. Okay, in LHS if you see 2 mod signs are there. I mean externally there is one modulus sign and inside that there is another modulus sign. So the outermost mod sign we can eliminate it. For that what idea we will use is, if mod A is less than equal to mod B, then we will say that A will always lie between plus mod A and negative mod A. Okay. This, okay, A will always lie between plus mod B and negative mod B. Okay. Why? Because A is having a magnitude that is lesser than B, right? Because of which even if A is negative, it will be greater than minus mod B, because magnitude of minus mod B will be greater than A. And if A is positive also, obviously A has to be less than equal to mod B because of the magnitude being lesser. Yes. So if we apply this particular idea for the given expression, what we will get is 2 minus mod of x minus 21 is less than equal to what? 1 and greater than equal to minus 1. Okay. Right. We will get this. So from this we can very well say that, or before that, one thing we can do is you can remove this 2. Okay. For that what I will do is I will add, I will subtract 2 on both sides. Okay. What I will be getting, minus 3 less than equal to minus mod of x minus 21, and that is less than equal to minus 1, right? Now what we will do is you have to multiply this entire expression by negative 1. If you do that, what you will get? Whenever you multiply the inequality with a negative sign, the inequality will get reversed. Okay, so this will become greater than equal to, right? And this will become what? Again, be like this, right? This is what is the expression we will be getting. Okay, so basically we have two different inequalities. Okay, we have to solve this. Okay, by looking at it, I can say that what they are asking is the integral solutions, right? So we will guess the integral solutions by looking at it. See, mod of x minus 21 should be what? Between 1 and 3, right? So possibilities are that x can be 22. Then what? Give it 22 minus 21, that will be 1. X can be 23 because it will be 2, right? It is between 1 and 3. X can be 24 also, right? Because 24 minus 21 will be 3, that is between 1 and 3 because there is a greater than equal to and less than equal to sign, right? And three more solutions will also be there. This particular expression, that can also be minus 1, minus 2 or minus 3. This x minus 1 can be either minus 1 or minus 2 or minus 3. These three are also possible. X can be, then what? It can be 20, then it will be what? Mod of minus 1, that will also be 1. That is between 1 and 3. X can be 19, then mod of x minus 21 will be what? Mod of minus 2, that is again 2. Right, that is between 1 and 3, and 18 is another solution. Okay, so totally how many solutions are there? 6 solutions are there. Okay, yes. So this question is from continuity. They have given that the function is continuous at x is equal to 0, right? And they are asking the value of f of 0. Okay, so that means what? If it is continuous, f of 0 minus is same as what? F of 0, and that is same as f of 0 plus also. These are called as the neighborhood points of the function at the given point. Okay, so these two must be equal. So basically what they have asked is to evaluate this particular limit. Okay, you have to evaluate this limit x tends to 0, right? 1 minus cos x, cos 2x, cos 3x upon cos c square 2x. Okay, cos square, sorry, sin square 2x. Denominator is sin square 2x. Okay, not cos square 2x, right? So this function has to be evaluated. For that, what we can do, by just looking at it, we can very well say that it is of the form of 0 by 0, right? We can use L'Hospital rule to evaluate this particular expression. Okay, and before that, to make the differentiation little easier, we'll just replace sin theta by theta, because if x tends to 0, sin x by x is 1, right? So you can replace sin square 2x as 2x the whole square. Okay, that will be what? It will be 4x square. Now we will differentiate. 1 is a constant, so differentiation will become 0, right? And for the denominator, it will be 8x, right? And for minus cos x, cos 2x, cos 3x, what will be the differentiation? It will be, it will be a very big term, right? Cos 2x and cos 3x, if we treat it as a constant, we differentiate this cos x, it will be what? Minus sin x, right? Minus sin x times cos 2x, cos 3x, right? Then cos x and cos 3x, we will treat it as constant, differentiate cos 2x. It will be what? Minus 2 sin 2x, cos x, cos 3x, right? And cos x and cos 2x, we will treat it as constant and differentiate cos 3x. What you will be getting? Minus 3 sin 3x, right? Minus 3 sin 3x into cos x, cos 2x, right? This is what is the value we will be getting, and limit extends to 0. You are all aware that cos x is 1, right? Obviously, if x tends to 0, 2x or 3x will also be tending to 0, right? The cos of those values will be 1. Okay, all these will be unity. So I'll just take it away. Okay, cos x, cos 3x, cos 2x, all will be unity when x approaches 1. Okay, right? This is the expression we will be having, right? And there is a bracket here. When you pull out the negative sign from all these three terms, what you will be getting? Sin x plus 2 sin 2x plus 3 sin 3x, right? Divided by 8x. Again, you can use the idea of replacing sin theta by theta, because x approaches 0, so obviously 2x and 3x will also approach 0. It will be what? This expression will be x plus 2 into 2x, that is 4x, right? This will be x, this will be 2 into 2x, that is 4x, and this will be 3 into 3x, that will be 9x, right? It will be what? X plus 4x plus 9x upon 8x, that will be 14 upon 8x, that will be same as 14x upon 8x, that is same as 7x upon 4x, that will be 7 by 4. Okay, this option. Yes. So fifth question is from determinants. They have given a determinant and they are asking which among those 4 options will be true. Okay. So first I will whenever you see, actually this same question is there in NCERT also. So whenever you see this question, determinant of this type, what you have to do is just multiply R1 by A, R2 by B, and R3 by C, and pull out A from C1, B from C2, and C from C3. Okay. So if I do that, what I will be getting? It will be 1 by ABC times A cube plus A, right? A square B, A square C, and then it will be what? It will be AB square B cube plus B, right? It will be B square C. Then it will be what? AC square, BC square, C cube plus C, right? Now we pull out A from the first column, what you will be getting, and B from the second column, and C from the third column. So numerator, I will align it, I will change it and align it again. Before that, I will just pull out ABC. It will be what? A square plus 1, right? A square plus 1, then it will be B square and C square, okay? A square plus 1, B square, C square, right? Similarly, if you pull out B from the second term, what you will have? A square, B square plus 1 and C square, right? Rewrite. And if you pull out C from the third column, what you will have? A square, B square and C square plus 1. And now what we can do is we can do this transformation that R1 is R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay. It will be what? The R1, all the three elements will be identical. It will be what? 1 plus A square plus B square plus C square. You can pull it out. So it will be 1 plus A square plus B square plus C square into some other determinant, right? It will be what? The determinant will be 1, 1, 1, right? B square, C square, B square plus 1, C square, right? B square, C square plus 1. And it is this value is equal to 1. Now we do this transformation that C2 is C2 minus C1 and C3 is C3 minus C1. So these two entries will become 0. Here it will be what? 1. It will be 1 and 0. And here it will be 0 and 1. Right? 1, 0, 0 and 1. 1, 0, 0 and 1. Okay. So what will be the value of this determinant? It will be unity. Okay. It will be 1. So that means what? 1 plus A square plus B square plus C square is 1. That means what? A square plus B square plus C square is 0, right? And all these three are square numbers. That means they cannot be negative. All these are greater than or equal to 0. But the sum of these three quantities is given to be 0. That means what? Each of these three must be 0, right? A should also be 0, B should also be 0, and C should also be 0, right? So it is what? This option, fourth option, okay? A equal to B equal to C equal to 0, right? So this question is from inverse trigonometry. First, what you do is you just take the LCM and evaluate it as a single term. Okay, 2 power r plus 1 plus 1 by 2 power r. It can be written as what? 2 power 2r plus 1 plus 1 by 2 power r, right? So cot inverse of that, cot inverse of this expression, right? This is same as what? Tan inverse of the reciprocal of that, 2 power r, right? Divided by 1 plus 2 power 2r plus 1, right? Yeah, and that will be same as what? Tan inverse of, I'm just realizing that there is a 1 here, 2 power r into 1, right? That 1 I will write as 2 minus 1, okay? So that when you multiply, it will be what? 2 power r plus 1 minus 2 power r, right? And denominator will be what? 1 plus this 2 power 2r plus 1 I will write as 2 power r plus 1 into 2 power r, okay? In this way I will write it. So it is of the form of tan inverse of a minus b by 1 plus ab. That is same as what? Tan inverse a minus tan inverse b, right? That will be the expansion of this. Okay. So now this is the particular expression which is found in this summation, right? N tends to infinity. This expression is same as tan inverse of 2 power r plus 1 minus tan inverse of 2 power r. Okay. So basically what you have to evaluate is this summation. I will do it here. Yes, same as summation n equal r equal to 1 to n as n approaches infinity, right? This is what? Tan inverse of 2 power r plus 1 minus tan inverse of 2 power r, okay? It will be what? Tan inverse 2 square, right? First term will be what? When r is 1, it will be tan inverse of 2 square minus tan inverse of 2. What will be the next term? It will be tan inverse of 2 cube minus tan inverse of 2 square, right? The next term will be tan inverse of 2 power 4 minus tan inverse of 2 cube, okay? Like that it will keep going. I will just brief it here so that you will understand what sort of cancellation is happening. So the next term will be what? Tan inverse of 2 power 5 minus tan inverse of 2 power 4, right? And it keeps on going. The sum is up to infinity, right? Right. N approaches infinity. That means what will be the last term? It will be tan inverse of 2 power. It will be n plus 1 minus tan inverse 2 power n, right? This 2 minus 2 power n will get cancelled with the positive 2 power n in the previous term. Like that, all these are cancellations. Tan inverse 2 square will get cancelled with minus tan inverse 2 square. Tan inverse 2 power 4 will get cancelled with the negative tan inverse 2 power 4. Minus the 2 tan inverse 2 cube will get cancelled with minus tan inverse 2 cube, right? This will get cancelled with the next negative sign over there. Like that, everything will get cancelled. Only thing which will be left out is what? Tan inverse 2 power n plus 1 minus tan inverse 2, right? When n approaches infinity, what will be 2 power n plus 1? That will also approach infinity. So tan inverse of that value will be pi by 2, right? Pi by 2 minus tan inverse 2, right? So that is same as what? Cot inverse 2. So that is the answer. Cot inverse 2, okay? Yes. And this question is from complex numbers, right? The number of solutions of the equations they are asking. Two equations are given. One is imaginary part of z is root 3, that they have given, right? And one more thing also they have given. See, let's assume that z is x plus iy, right? What they have given imaginary part is root 3. That means what? Z can be rewritten as x plus root 3i, right? One more thing they have given is that mod z is z plus z bar, right? What is mod z? Root of x square plus root 3 square is what? It will be 3, right? This is same as z plus z bar. That will be what? X plus root 3i. What will be z bar? It will be x minus root 3i, okay? So cancel the imaginary part. What you will get is 2x is equal to root of x square plus 3. If you square on both sides, what you will get? 4x square equal to x square plus 3, right? So that means x square is 1. So x can be plus or minus 1, right? X can be plus or minus 1. But one more thing we observe here is if x can be plus or minus 1, that means see, z bar will be what? It will be minus 1 plus root 3i, right? And z will be what? Minus 1 minus root 3i. Z plus z bar will be what? It will be actually minus 2, okay? If x is negative 1, z plus z bar will be minus 2. That means what? Mod z will be minus 2. Right. So this is however positive. So this x is equal to minus 1 solution cannot be considered. We have to take only x is equal to 1 solution. Because if you take x is equal to minus 1, mod z value will become negative now. So we consider only one solution. There is only one solution. Okay. It's not two solutions. Yes. Yes, just check it. Okay. Yeah. So this question actually they are asking, no, they have given the domain of the function and they are asking the domain of this function, okay? See, they have given that the domain of the function is minus 1 to 2, that means what? Whatever is there as a value inside the function, that can vary from minus 1 to 2, right? That can vary from minus 1 to 2. That means clearly we can say this particular function will vary from minus 1 to 2, okay? Greatest integer x minus x square plus 4. This can vary from minus 1 to 2, okay? Correct. Now we have two different inequalities. This is the first inequality, and and before that you can just write the integral part of x in terms of fractional part of x, right? It will be what? X minus the fractional part of x, right? You just write it in that way. Integral part of x can be written as x minus fractional part of x. X minus fractional part of x, okay? Now two inequalities are there. This is the first inequality and this is the second inequality, okay? So what will be the first inequality? It will be just bring 1 to this side. It will be what? Fractional part of x, it is less than equal to minus x square plus x plus 5, okay, correct? This will be the inequality. And what about this inequality, the other inequality? Fractional part of x will be what? It will be greater than equal to minus x square plus x plus 2, okay? Two different inequalities you get, and you have to take the overlap of these two. Okay, you have to take the overlap of these two inequalities. Okay, so if you solve the first, see, let us first solve the first inequality. Okay, we'll directly go to the graph. Okay, wait just 1 minute. Yes, this is the graph of the first inequality. This particular graph is what? This is actually a parabola denoting this particular fx value. F of x is equal to minus x square plus x plus 5. And what about this? This is actually the graph of fractional part of x. Okay. So where the condition is what? The fractional part of x should be less than the quadratic, right? That means what? Where you will find it to be less than the quadratic. See, till this point, the fractional part of x is being greater than the quadratic, right? And after this point also, the fractional part of x will be greater than the quadratic, okay? Because after the point of intersection, quadratic is decreasing and the fractional part of x is increasing. And after some point, it is going directly to the negative value of x, or y, okay? The parabola. Here also, it is coming from the negative value, and only after the point of intersection, the parabola is dominating the fractional part, okay? So only from this region to this region, you will observe that the fractional part of x will be greater than the, less than the parabola, right? So what are the points of intersection? You have to find it. What is the equation of this line? It passes through x is equal to 2, right? And the slope is 1, right? So what will be the equation? Y is equal to x minus 2, right? This will be the equation of this line. If you find the point of intersection, you will get it as what? It will be root 7. It lies between 2 and 3, root 7, okay? You have to solve these two and get the point of intersection. Likewise, if you get the point of intersection of this line with this quadratic, what you will get? It will be minus root 3. Why? Because the equation of this line is what? It passes through minus 2, 0, right? The equation will be y is equal to x plus 2, right? Then only y value will be 0 at minus 2. So minus root 3 to root 7 is the value for which this inequality is true, right? Minus root 3, root 7, okay? And what about the second inequality? Here the fractional part of x should be greater, right, than the parabola. Wait, we will discuss that part. Okay, this is what is the parabola, which denotes the equation x square plus x plus 2, and this is the fractional part of x. Okay, see the points of intersection. One point of intersection is this, and the other point of intersection is this point itself. Okay, that is minus 1, because the fractional part of x will pass through minus 1, right? And this parabola also has that as a root, right? Minus 1 plus 1, right? Minus 1 plus 2, right? That is 0. So this is a point of intersection, and here what is the point of intersection? The equation of this line is what? Y equal to x minus 1. Okay, y equal to x minus 1 is the equation of this straight line. When does that intersect this parabola? That will be, if you solve, you will get it as root 3. Okay, root 3. Okay, and you have to check for this particular fractional part of x being what? Less than the parabola. That was the condition, right? See, it should be, greater than the parabola. Right, fractional part of x should dominate the parabola. So at what region you will find it to be greater than the parabola? It will be from minus 1 to minus infinity, it will be, right? And from root 3, here also if you observe, after the point of intersection, the parabola is decreasing and the fractional part will be increasing, right? And after 2, it is completely in the negative value of y, and fractional part can never be negative, okay? Because of which after this root 3 point, it will dominate the parabola, okay? That will be what? Fractional part of x will be greater than the quadratic from minus infinity, minus 1 union root 3, infinity, okay? Minus infinity, minus 1, right? Union root 3, infinity, right? Now you have to take the overlap of these two. You have to take the overlap of these two, okay? See, actually, most of you may not be aware of how to draw the graph of fractional part of x. It's actually a periodic function with period 1, okay? At every integral point, it will again come to the integer itself, next integer itself, okay? Till then, it will be like y equal to x graph, okay? Yeah, so you have to take the overlap of these two, okay? It will be what? It will be minus root 3, 1 union root 3, root 7. See, this will not be the correct, because here minus 1 and root 3 are being excluded, but in either cases, minus 1 and root 3 will be always included, okay? Because it's greater than equal to inequality. It's not strictly greater than inequality, okay? So it will be answer C, okay? Option C, okay? Yes. So ninth question, this also seems to be a pretty simple question. What they have given, the mean and variance of the data is given, okay? And they are asking A to B, right? See, mean is what? Sigma x upon n, right? So if you add all these and divide it by the number of entries, you will get mean. That means from this you can very well say that A plus B will be what? Just multiply n on the other side, right? And subtract with all the given values. A and B are the only unknowns. You will be getting A plus B as 12. 72 minus 16, right? Will be 12. And what they are asking is AB. Okay, for that one more data also they have given. Variance is given to be 37 by 4. What is variance? Variance is sigma x square upon n minus mean square. What is mean square? 9 square, right? That is given to be 37 by 4. This means what? Square of all the entries divided by the number of entries will be 37 by 4 plus 81, right? That will be what? 81 is 324 by 4 plus 37 is what? 354, 361 upon 4, right? 361 upon 4. That is what? Sigma x square upon n. N is 8, right? Cancel these two, you will be getting 2 in the denominator, right? Sigma x square will be what? Sigma x square will be 722, okay? So you have to square all these entries and add it up. All the squares will be a value except a square and b square. With this, you will get the expression for a square plus b square as what? To subtract all the other square numbers on the other side. A square plus b square are the only unknowns. Right? You will get it as, I think you will get it as, wait, let me just calculate. 3600, 49, 169, 144, and another 144 is also there. Okay. So you will be getting it as 80, I think. 80. Okay. Yeah. So one more expression also we have, that a plus b is 12. That means what? If you square on both sides, a square plus b square plus 2ab will be 144, right? And this is already known to be 80. That means what? 2ab will be 64 and ab will be 32, right? That will be D option. Okay, 32 is the answer. Yes. So this question is from circles, okay? The locus of center of circle of radius 3, which touches the locus of P obtained by one condition they have given, okay? Externally it is touching, okay? So first you simplify this expression. P obtained by one condition, right? What will be the locus of all such P? There is a condition, right? If you square it on both sides, it will be what? 4PA square will be 9PB square, right? And let's call the coordinate of point P as x comma y. We are finding the locus of all such possible x comma y. Basically, we are finding the equation of P in terms of x and y, okay? In terms of the x and y coordinate of P, okay? So what will be the distance PA square? It will be x minus x1 the whole square plus y minus y1 the whole square, right? Distance formula. So P to 8 will be what? X minus 9 root 2 ka whole square plus y minus 9 root 2 ka square, right? There will be what? 9 into x minus 4 root 2 square whole square plus y minus 4 root 2 whole square. So I can rearrange. Only thing we observe is that this 2ab term will be there now. For that, when you multiply it with this 4 and that 9, they will be completely cancelled. It will not exist, okay? So only thing which will exist is on the left hand side will be what? 4x square plus 4y square. On the right hand side it will be 9x square plus 9y square, right? Plus this will exist. 9 root 2 square into 2, that is what? 324, right? 324. And what about here? It will be 4 root 2 whole square into 2, that is 32 into 64 minus. Wait, I don't think so. It will not be there. B square value will be what here? It will be 162 plus another 162, 324, right? And when it is multiplied with 4, it will be 4 into 324. This will be 9 into 9 into what? 2 into 4 root 2 whole square. That will be what? 4 root 2 whole square is what? It is actually 32. So it will 2 into 4 root 2 whole square will be 64. So this particular value is what? It will be 7. Wait. First we'll subtract this 4x square and 4y square on the other side. What we will get? 5 into x square plus y square. That will be equal to what? 720, right? So x square plus y square will be 144. Okay. So basically locus of all such p is what? It is a circle centered at origin and radius 12 units. And now you study the question, the locus of center of circle of radius 3 which touches this locus. There is this circle externally. Okay. So let's say this is the circle which we have derived the expression for. Okay. And there is one another circle which is touching this circle externally. Locus of all such centers of those all such circles. They are asking externally means it's touching like this. Okay. Right at one. So one more thing also you should be aware of is that they are asking basically the locus of all these centers. It will also be a circle. It will be a concentric circle to the inner circle, right? So basically we have to determine the expression or equation of the dotted circle, right? Only thing we have to know, it's very clear that the center will be at origin for the dotted circle. Only thing we have to know is that what will be the radius of that. So the radius of this circle is 12 and that circle is 3. The total radius will be what? 15. So the equation will be x square plus y square equal to 225. Okay. So this question is from maxima minima, right? So they have given f dash of x vanishes at 3 points alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. Okay. Wait. So that means what? Alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3 are roots of f dash of x. What is f dash of x? It will be x cube minus 2x square minus 11x plus 12. Right. This will be f dash of x. And what will be f double dash of x? It will be 3x square minus 6x minus 11. Okay. Now, by just looking at it, we can say that f dash of 1 will be what? 0, na? It will be 1 minus 2 minus 7 plus 12. That is 0, right? So x minus 1, x is equal to 1 is a root, right? So alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, 3 roots are there. In that 1 is actually a root, okay? X is equal to 1 is a root, okay? That means what? X minus 1 will be a vector. If you divide with that x minus 1, you will get another quadratic vector also, na? That we will do it, okay? Divided by x minus 1. Right? Divide the first term with the first term. You will be getting this now. It will be minus x square. Right? When you divide it again, it will be minus x. Again, when you multiply, it will be actually plus 1x, right? When you multiply, it will be what? X square minus x square. Go for change of sign. Plus x. There also you go for change of sign. It will be what? Minus 2x plus 12. After bringing down this 12, it will be what? And when you divide it by x minus 1, sorry, it will be 11x. Here it is 11x now. It will be minus 11x. It's not 1x. So what you have to do is you have to multiply these two. It will be x and go for change of sign. There is already a minus 11x here. Okay. Right. It is actually not plus 1x. It is actually minus 11x. Okay. See, minus 11x. Okay. So when you bring it down, it will be minus 11x here. And then here, you go for change of sign, it will be 12x here. Okay. So again, when you divide by x minus 1, it will be directly minus 12 and the remainder will be 0. Okay. So this is what is other quadratic factor. You can further simplify it into two linear factors. How will you split the middle term? It will be x minus 4 into x plus 3. Okay. So 4 is one solution. 1, 4 and minus 3 are the roots. Okay. So it is given alpha 1 greater than alpha 2 minus greater than alpha 3. That means what? This is 4, this is 1 and this is minus 3. Okay. So whether it will be point of local maximum or minimum, that will be decided by f double dash of x. Okay. So what will be f double dash of 4? It will be 48 minus right. It is 6x, right? 48 minus 6x minus 11. That will be 48 minus. That is positive 1 here, right? That means it is a point of minima. Okay. This is a point of minima. Okay. Alpha 1 is a point of minima. What about alpha 2? F double dash 1 will be. It will be negative now, so it will be a point of maxima. What about alpha 3? It will be, when you put minus 3, again it is positive. That means it's a point of minima. Okay. So x is equal to alpha 1 is a point of local maxima. Is that correct? No, it's actually a point of local minima. This is wrong. This is correct. Second is correct. And f of alpha 2 must be greater than f of alpha 3 because alpha 2 is a point of maxima and alpha 3 is a point of minima. Obviously, it should be greater. So what exactly two statements are true? Okay. Yes. So this question is from straight lines, right? What you have to basically find is the equation of the incident ray. What they have given is the equation of the mirror and the equation of the reflected ray. Okay. This is what the equation of the reflected ray, y plus 2x equal to 1. So I will write it in y equal to mx form. It will be what? Y equal to minus 2x plus 1. And what will be the equation of the mirror? It will be y equal to 7x plus 1. Okay. And what about the equation of the incident ray? That is the question. For that, we have one point from the incident ray, that is 0, 1. That is the point at which it gets reflected. Okay, that we have. Okay, so given one point and the slope, we can determine the equation. What we want now is the slope of this. For that, we'll use the idea that angle of incidence will be angle of reflection. So if this is theta, this will also be theta. Na? So consequently, what happens? These two angles are equal. This angle and this angle will become equal. Okay, because both are 90 minus theta. So tan of this angle will be equal to what? Tan of this angle. Okay. What is the formula for tan of angle between two lines whose slopes are known? Tan phi is given by m1 minus m2 by 1 plus m1 m2, right? So m1 is what? Minus 2 and m2 is minus 7, right? See, this is the formula. One plus m1 m2 is what? 1 plus minus 2 into 7, that is 1 minus 14, that is minus 13. So that is 9 by 13. That is same as the tan of this angle. Okay, this angle. So what is m1 here? This is what is m1. This is m2. This slope is already known, 7, right? Here the slope is 7, right? And this slope we don't know. We'll assume it as m. Okay. So what will be the formula? It will be 7 minus m by 1 plus 7m, right? So if cross multiply and rearrange, what you will get? 91 minus 13m equal to 9 plus 63m, right? So 82 will be what? 76m, right? M will be 41 upon 38, right? M will be 41 upon 38. So you know to write the equation if slope is known. Y minus y1 is m into x minus x1. These are the value. I mean these two are x1 and y1 value, right? Y minus 1 will be what? 41 upon 38 into x minus 0, right? If you cross multiply, what you will get? 41x equal to 38y minus 38, right? So 41x minus 38y plus 38 is 0, okay? That is the equation of the incident ray, okay? Okay, fine. So this question is from integrals. They have asked you to evaluate the value. I mean, you have to find the value of this integral, okay? And one more boundary condition also given. With this, you can find the constant, okay? So what you can do is you can just pull out cos theta from the numerator, right? It will be what? 5 plus cos square theta, na? And put sin theta as t. So it will become what? Integral e power t 5 plus cos square theta can be written as 1 minus sin square theta, no? So it will be 5 plus 1 minus t square, right? That will be 6 minus t square. The cos theta which we pulled out, that will become dt, right? Cos theta and cos x into dx will become dt. So 6 minus t square dt upon, again 2 minus this 2 minus 3 you can write it as it is, right? And the root of 3 plus cos square x you can write it as 4 minus sin square x. So you can write it as root of 4 minus t square, okay? So however, whenever you see this e power t, e power x function, you have to think about this way of writing it as e power x into fx plus f dash x, okay? That form you should be able to write it. The answer will be e power x f of x, right? So I will split this as 2 minus t, I will rather split as 2 plus 4 minus t square, right? 2 by 2 minus t into root of 4 minus t square by, and plus it will be what? So basically I am expanding this particular expression into two different expressions in addition, okay? 4 minus t square I will write as 2 plus t into 2 minus t. Numerator will be 2 plus t and denominator will be what? 2 minus t will get cancelled, now it will be 4 minus t square, right? In this way you can write it. So the integral will be what? Integral e power t, right, dt. These two are there. And how will you evaluate this? This can be written as root of, see it is again 2 square minus t square, no, root of 2 plus t into root of 2 minus t. Okay, that root of 2 plus t will get cancelled with this 2 plus t and numerator will be root of 2 plus t, okay? So basically this term will be root of 2 plus t by 2 minus t, and this will be what? It will be 2 by 2 minus t into root of 4 minus t square, right? So e power t into, it's of the form of e power t into f of t. Let's call this as f of t, and this will be f dash of t. If you differentiate it, you will get this as the derivative of this, okay? So the final answer should be what? It should be e power t f of t dt, no? It will be e power t into root of 2 plus t by 2 minus t, right? And t is what? Sin x. It's a plus one constant will be there. And to evaluate this constant, we have given a condition that f0 is 0. That means what? If x is 0, sin x is 0, so t will also be 0. That means what? That is given to be f0 is given to be 1. That means 1 is equal to e power 0, that is 1 into root of 2 by 2, that is again 1. Okay. So e power 0 is 1 plus k. That means what? E power 0 and 1 are equal. So constant will be 0, right? there is no constant in this integration. Just remove this. So the actual value will be what? E power sin x into root of 2 plus sin x by 2 minus sin x. Okay. And one more value they are asking, there is f of pi by 2 they are asking. It will be what? E power sin pi by 2 is 1. Okay. So e into root of 2 plus 1 by 2 minus 1, that is root of 3 by root of 1, that is root 3 into e, right? Root 3e, that is option A. Okay. That is the answer. So we did not skip the video. So this question is from probability, right? A fair die is thrown repeatedly. If 6 appears on the first 3 throws, then the probability of 1 appearing on the 4th throw. So actually most of the students must be aware that while studying Bayes' theorem and conditional probability, you should be aware that the throws are given to be, understood to be independent, okay? The throws are understood to be independent because one will not affect the other outcome, right? All these are independent throws. So the probability will also be independent now. So probability of getting 1 will be 1 by 6. Okay, these prior outcomes will not be affecting the probability of the 4th throw. Okay, yes, simple question. This question is also simple because they have given u of x and v of x are differentiable functions. They are asking the value of p plus q by p minus q, right? See, first q is given to be ux by vx whole dash, right? What is the ratio of ux by vx? That is 7. So that is a constant actually. When you differentiate a constant, it will be what? 0. That means q is actually 0. It's actually the derivative of ux by vx, and ux by vx is what? 7. So derivative of any constant is 0. So q is 0. So what will be p plus q by p minus q? That will be p plus 0 by p minus 0. That will be 1. Okay. We need not even evaluate p. Without that, we will get the answer. Okay. Only thing you should be aware is that the derivative of any constant will be 0. Okay. And this question is based on quadratic, right? So they have given one condition. This seems to be the derivative at x. Yeah. Basically, see, if you differentiate, it will be 2ax plus b, right? Yeah, 2ax plus b. Okay. So that is not that. Actually, if they have given 2a plus b equal to 0, then we can say that the derivative vanishes at x is equal to 1. But that is not, there is the c also. Okay. So what we can do is we can just write in terms of f of a plus f of b form. Okay. We just multiply this. I will say with what you should multiply. First, what will be f0? It will be c now. F1 will be a plus b plus c, right? F2 will be 4, right? 4a plus 2b plus c, right? So you can write it like this. If you multiply it with 2, you will be what? You will be getting this thing now. 4a plus 2b plus 2c equal to 0, right? Multiplying with 2 on both sides. This can be written as, the c can be written as, 2c can be written as c plus c, right? So this is what? This is same as f of 2 plus f of 0 equal to 0, okay? F of 2 plus f of 0 equal to 0 means what? Two possibilities are there. Both are 0, right? F of 2 is also 0 and f of 0 is also 0, right? There is one possibility. That means what? At both points the parabola will be passing through the x-axis. Or if the parabola is having value of a to be negative, it will be like this, right? It will however pass through 0 and 2 if both are 0. Or the other condition is what? One will be the negative of the other. P of 2 equal to minus p of 0, right? So instead of p, we have considered it as f of, even if it's a polynomial function, we have denoted it as f of x. So f of 2 will be what? Minus f of 0, no? That means we can clearly say that f of 2 and f of 0 are in opposite polarity, right? The sign will be opposite. If f of 2 is positive, f0 will be negative. If f0 is positive, f2 will be negative, right? So that means what? For this condition also, 0 and 2, no? If this is positive, this will be negative, right? That means it is passing like this, okay, or like this, or like this. Anyway, it can pass, right? So obviously, the complete parabola should look like this, okay, right? The diagram looks little ugly. Kindly adjust with these things, okay? So, however, it will be what? The parabola will be having two distinct roots, okay? Then only one will be the negative of the other, okay? Or both will be 0, then also it will have two distinct roots. We discussed, no? At two different points, it will intersect. The 2 points are 0 and 2. If both are 0, we can say that the 2 points are 0 and 2. Even if not, we can say that one will be the negative of the other. No, that will be that means the parabola will obviously have two distinct roots. Okay, it can even be the inverted parabola. This way, right? Still, if there is a change of sign between these two values, right? Obviously, it will have two distinct roots. Okay, so D option, two distinct and real roots. Okay, and it also cannot be without having real roots. Why? Because see, for one is the negative of the other means, however, it should pass through the x-axis. There is a sign change, however, involved. Okay, and one more thing you will observe is that if there is one root real, the other root will also be real, right? It cannot be imaginary because complex root occur in conjugate pair, right? So if there is a sign change, there will be another place where the sign will again change for the function. Okay. Yes. So 17th question is from vectors, right? They are asking the angle between B and C. What is the formula? It will be B dot C by mod B mod C. What is mod B? It is 4. Mod C we just don't know. Just keep it like this. First determine what is B dot C. C is this expression, no? If you take dot product on both sides, B dot C will be what? B dot C will be B dot 2A cross B minus 3B, right? See, when you take dot product of B with 2A cross B, 2A cross B will be what? The resultant will be perpendicular to both 2A and B, right? That means it is perpendicular to B also. When you take dot product with B, obviously the value will be 0. So this will become 0. It will be only what? B dot minus 3B. That is what? Minus 3 mod B square. Okay? Minus 3 mod B square. Okay? So B dot C is minus 3 mod B square. For that, what we will do is, we will apply parallelogram of vector addition. Mod C square will be what? It will be 2A cross B mod of that whole square plus 3B, right, mod of that whole square minus dot product of these two, right, minus 2A cross B dot 3B, right, and 2A cross B will be perpendicular to B, the resultant, right, perpendicular to both 2A and B, no. So when you take the dot product with 3B, it will become 0, right. So what will be modulus of C? The magnitude will be, what is the magnitude of A? It is 2, no, 2. Right, this is the 2A cross B is same as 2 into 1 into 4, that is mod B into sin theta is what? Angle between A and B you should know, right? Cos theta will be A dot B by mod B, that will be half. That means sin theta will be root 3 by 2, okay? Root 3 by 2. So for angle between A and B, that idea you can use. So 2A cross B will be what? Basically, C will be root of this, no? 2A cross B will be mod 2A square, right? Mod B square and cos theta square. What is cos theta? It's the angle between, actually theta is the angle between these two, okay? Plus 3B whole square can be written as 9 mod B square, no? So 9 into mod B square is what? 16. 9 into 16 is 144, okay? So it will be what? Root of 144 plus, what is this? This is what? Sin square theta will be what? 3 by 4, right? 3 by 4 and just 1 minute. There is 12, right? So sorry, mod of 2A whole square will be what? 2 square, that is 4, right? 4 into mod B, and this is what? 3 by 4. So final answer is 3 into mod B square is 16, right? So it will be root of 192. C will be root of 192. Okay. If C is root of 192, then now what will be cos theta value? It will be, wait, for angle between B and C, we are using this idea that cos of the angle between them is, okay, B dot C by mod B mod C. For finding mod C, that has become our primary task. For that, what we did, we applied this parallelogram of vector. We squared it on both sides, right? And that A dot 2A dot B term will be 0. Why? Because A cross B direction is perpendicular to both A and B, so it will be perpendicular to B also, dot product will become 0. So C is root 192. This you can further simplify it as 8 root 3. Okay. So it will be what? B dot C by 4 into 8 root 3. What is 4 into 8 root 3? It is 32, right? 32 root 3. And what about B dot C? You have to take the dot product with B. Now it will be what? The first term will be purely 0. It will be just minus 3 into, why? Because A cross B is both perpendicular to A as well as B. When you take the dot product with B, the value will become 0. Okay, this will be 0. Just consider this dot product. Okay. Minus 3 mod B square. That is what? Minus 3 into B square is what? 16, no? It will be minus 48. Okay. Minus 48 upon 32. It will be minus 24 upon 16. It will be minus 3 upon 2 root 3, right? You can also write it as minus root 3 by 2. If cos theta is minus root 3 by 2, what will be the value of theta? It will be 5 pi by 6. Okay, 5 pi by 6 will be the answer. First, what you did, you just use this formula to determine what is the value of cos theta, right? And you have to evaluate this also. For that, two things are required. B dot c is required and mod c is required. For mod c, you just use parallelogram of vector addition, right? In that, a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta, the 2ab cos theta will become 0. Why? Because 2a, basically it's 2a dot b, no? Here this is the first value and this is the second value. When you take the dot product, it becomes 0. Why? Because I told, no, this will be perpendicular to b vector. This particular resultant will be perpendicular to b vector. Okay, yes, so that will become 0. With that you can find modulus c, right? And when you take in this expression, when you take with dot product on both sides, that is on left hand side as well as right hand side with b, dot product with b on both sides, you will get the value of b dot c also. Okay, simple question. Yes. So 18th question is from inverse trigonometry, right? Let n be the number of integral values of x which satisfy the equation, right? So if you rearrange and write it, it will be what? Tan inverse x plus cot inverse x will be equal to what? Sin inverse x plus cos inverse x, right? So both are pi by 2. However, this equation will always be true. But the thing is, you have to consider the domain. Okay. For tan inverse, it is whole of real number system, right? But for sin inverse, it varies only from minus 1 to 1. That is the domain. X can only be between minus 1 to 1. For cos inverse also, it is like that. For cot and tan, it can be whole of real number system. Okay. But since sin 1, for this, it will be minus 1, 0, and 1. That is n. So that means what? N is 3, right? (2013) power sin x. That will get cancelled with the 1 plus 2013 power sin x in the denominator, right? So it will be only 2i will be limits are from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, right? 2i will be ln sec x, right? Dx. So I will be what? And due to symmetry, right? It can be written as 2 times 0 to pi by 2. 2 times 0 to pi by 2 ln sec x dx, right? So this 2 with this 2, I will be integral 0 to pi by 2. So this is same as what? Minus integral 0 to pi by 2 ln cos x. This is the standard result. 0 to pi by 2 ln cos x is what? Pi by 2 log half, right? Or minus pi by 2 log 2, right? When you multiply it with negative sign, it will be what? Pi by 2 log 2. So k value will be 2. Okay, k value is 2. Okay. It's a very standard result. Actually, it's asked as a long answer question in CBSE. 0 to pi by 2 log cos x, log sin x, all values will be same, and that will be pi by 2 log half. Okay. So, but every aspirant should know that as a standard result. Okay. So k also we have determined. So all we need to do is c square. How will you find c square? Again, apply parallelogram of vector addition. A and b are the unit vectors. No, a cross b will be what? Just sin theta. Modulus is there. No, that means what it is? Mod a, mod b, mod sin theta, mod n cap, mod n cap, mod a, mod b. All these are 1. So it will be only sin theta a plus a dot b will be what? Just cos theta, because mod a and mod b are 1. Cos theta b. Sin theta a plus cos theta b will be the c vector, right? So what will be c square? Sin square theta mod a plus cos square theta, right? Correct, no? Mod b square, right? Mod a square and mod b square are 1. So sin square plus cos square will be 1, plus you have this 2a dot b term also, no? 2 into a by right? It will be what? A cross B will be, I mean, this will be sine theta, na? 2 sine theta, right? Cos theta. 2 A dot B will be what? I will do it here, okay? A square plus B square we have got. We just have to evaluate 2 A dot B, right? 2 into A cross B is what? A vector into sine theta, no? Dot. B vector into cos theta, right? This is what is 2A dot B. And see, you can sin theta and cos theta are constant values, right? Coefficients, constant coefficients. So you can pull it out. It will be what? Sin 2 theta into A dot B, right? Sin 2 theta into A dot B. Again, what will be A dot B? 2 sin theta cos theta into A dot B, right? It's the same as sin 2 theta into A dot B. And A dot B is what? Mod A mod B cos theta, right? Again, one more cos theta will be there. One more cos theta, right? So basically, it is what? Sin square plus cos square is 1. So it will be 1 plus sin 2 theta cos theta. Sin 2 theta will be what? Sin pi by 3, that is half, into cos theta will be what? Cos pi by 6. It is root 3 by 2. No? Wait. Sin of pi by 3, that is root 3 by 2, right? Root 3 by 2. Sorry, root 3 by 2. Plus cx square plus dx plus e. What will be the first derivative? It will be 4ax cube, right? Plus 3bx square plus 2cx plus d. And what about the second derivative? It will be 12ax square plus 6bx plus 2c. And what about the third derivative? It will be 24ax plus 6b, right? And what about the fourth derivative? It will be 24a, right? And that is given to be what? When see, fourth derivative is independent of x, okay? Fourth derivative of 2 is known to be 24. That means this is 24. Just replace this 24a as just 24, okay? Minus 10 and 1. So 6 into minus 10 will be minus 60, na? Minus 60. And 12 is same as 12, okay? Because a is 1. And with the given condition, if double dash of 2 is 2, right? If double dash of 2 is 2, that means what? When you put x is equal to 2, you will get 2 in the RHS, okay? It will be what? Actually, mathematically, it will be 12 into 4, that is 48 minus 60 into 2 is what? 120 plus 2c, right? That will be what? 122 minus 48 is what? 2c equal to 122 minus 48, no? It will be what? So c 122 minus 48. What will be the value of c then? It will be, here I will do, okay, 74 by 2, right? That will be 37. C is 37, right? Just check once. Yes, 37 is the value of C. Okay, and now what you have to do is put those in this expression. If double dash directly you put the value of 2C will be what? Then 74, no? So just replace it as 74. Okay. And f double dash of 1, right? That means put x is equal to 1, it will be 12 minus 60 plus 74, right? It will be plus 15 plus 12, that is 26. That is option C. Okay, C option is correct. Yes. So we will move to the next question. This is from inverse trigonometry, right? Tan inverse of 2, tan inverse of this plus 14. First, this 14 inverse also we just change it to tan inverse itself. It will be what? Tan is same. Tan inverse of 2x by 1 minus x. So that is 2 tan inverse of 2x by 1 minus x square is pi by 3. Again, this can be written as x plus 6 upon 1 minus x into x, right? That will be what? Tan inverse of x plus tan inverse of x. That is inverse x, no? So it will be totally 4 tan inverse x equal to pi by 3. Okay. So what will be the value of tan inverse x? It will be pi by 12, right? What they are asking is x power 4 plus 1 by x power. Okay. Simple question. So x will be what? Tan pi by 4, pi by 12, right? Pi by 12 is actually 15 degree. How will you evaluate it? Those who don't know the value by heart, you have to expand it as tan of 45 minus 30, right? It will be what? 1 minus 1 by root 3 by 1 plus 1 by root 3. That will be what? Root 3 minus 1 upon root 3 plus 1. Okay. This will be x, right? And what will be about x power 4 then? X power 4 will be 16 plus 3 into that is 12, right? 28 minus 16 root 3 by 28 plus 16 root 3, right? Can pull out 4 and write it in this way, that it will be 7 minus 4 root 3 by 7 plus 4 root 3. Okay, 7 minus 4 root 3 by 7 plus 4 root 3. That is the value of x power 4. Okay, so 1 by x power 4 is the reciprocal of that, right? So 7 minus 4 root 3 plus 7 plus 4 root 3 plus the reciprocal of that, 7 plus 4 root 3 by 7 minus 4 root 3. Okay. See, one thing what you can do is you can multiply and divide by the conjugate, right? Multiply and divide by the conjugate, you can rationalize it, right? Here, the second part, if you rationalize, what you will get? The denominator will become 1 and numerator will be the square of this, okay? Correct, right? It will be 7 square minus 4 root 3 square, that will be 1, and numerator will be whole square, right? Or rather, you take the LCM also, no problem. It will be what? 7 minus 4 root 3 whole square. 7 minus 4 root 3 square plus 7 plus 4 root 3 whole square, and denominator will be what? It is of the form of a square minus b square, that will be 49 minus 40, that will be 1. Okay. So in this expansion, 7 minus 4 root 3 whole square and 7 plus 4 root 3 whole square, when you add, the 2ab terms will get cancelled, and the resultant will be what? 47 plus, 48 plus 49 into 2, that is what? 97 into 2, that is 194, that is option A. Okay, 194 is the answer. Yes. So this question is from conic section. They have given a rectangular hyperbola, right? Equation is known. One more rectangular hyperbola equation is known, and eccentricity of one rectangular hyperbola is given. Lattice rectum length of both the rectangular hyperbolas are given. Okay. First, we will what is the lattice rectum length? It is 2b square by a, right? That is what? 2b square by a equal to what? 15 root 2, right? And one more thing is eccentricity is what? Root of 5 by 2, no? So e square is 5 by 2, right? And what is eccentricity? Root of 1 plus b square by a square, no? So 1 plus b square by a square is e square, right? So b square by a square will be what? It will be 3 by 2, right? And 2b square by a is 15 root 2, right? So what you can do is can divide these two expressions, right? If you divide you can divide the, call this first and call this second. Do 1 divided by 2. What you will get? 2a is what you will get, right? Into 15 by 3 now, it will be 5. So cancel these two. So a will be what? 5 root 2. Consequently, b will be, we don't even want b value. One more thing is given, if the product of the lengths of the transverse axis, okay? Here the transverse axis is a, right? Here what is the transverse axis? Length is what? The length of the transverse axis will be 2a, right? Length of the transverse axis will be what? 2 capital B here, because it is minus x square by a square plus y square by b square, okay? So 4ab is known to be 100 root 10, right? Cancel these two. So capital B will be what? 25 root 10 divided by 5 root 2. Okay. 25 root 10 divided by 5 root 2 is what? It will be 5 root 5. Okay. B will be 5 root 5. Correct? B will be 5 root 5. And using this idea of lattice rectangle length being equal to 12 root 5, here the lattice rectangle length will be what? For the second parabola, it will be 2a square by b, right? 2a square by b, that is what? 12 root 2. That means 2a square equal to 12 root 12 root 5 into b. Now b is 5 root 5. Okay. That means what? 60 into 5. 300 is 2a square. A square is 150, right? So what will be 2a square by b? No, sorry, no, they're not asking that. They're asking e2 square. E2 square will be what? Root of 1 plus what? A square by b square, right? That will be 1 plus 150 by what will be b square? It will be 125, right? The square of this, right? That will be the eccentricity square. And when you multiply it with 25, what you will get? It's actually what? 275 by 125. When you multiply it with 25, what you will get? 275 by 5. Yes, that will be what? 55, right? 55 is the length of the, sorry, eccentricity value. Okay, E2 value, sorry, not E2, so the given expression, right? 25 E2 square, that value is 55. Okay, yes, we will move to the next question. This question is from permutation combination. They have given 20-sided polygon, right? And no side of hexagon is common with the side of polygon. In how many ways? How many number of ways hexagons can be formed from a 20-sided polygon? No side should be shared for the hexagon of the polygon. Okay. See, first, the first vertex of the hexagon can be chosen in 20 ways because 20 vertices are there for the polygon. 20 ways you can choose the first vertex, and the remaining 5 vertex you have to choose from the remaining 19. The thing is that adjacent sides you cannot pick the adjacent sides. If you have taken one side, you cannot take the other left adjacent and right adjacent side. Okay. So let's say we'll consider a 20-sided polygon first. Okay. So if 6 vertices are chosen as the vertices of hexagon, now how many will be untouched? How many? For example, I will draw one hexagon. 1, 2, right? This, right? And then 3, 4, right? 5 and 6. Okay. See, if 6 vertices are taken, obviously the remaining 14 vertices are blank. Okay. So this scenario is same as what? 6 natural number giving a sum 13. First natural number, second natural number, third natural number, fourth natural number, fifth natural number, and sixth natural number giving a sum 14. Right? That is possible in how many ways? N minus 1 C R minus 1 ways. R natural number giving a sum n. It is possible in N minus 1 C R minus 1. So this 13 C5 and 6 different same hexagon is possible in 6 orientations. A B C D E F B C D E F A, right? Like that. Okay. B C D E F A, all these 6 possibilities will be there for one particular hexagon itself. So you divide by 6. Okay. This will be the answer. That is equated to what? 15C7 into A by B. Okay. So what will be A plus B such that A and B are co-primes? They are asking. So you have to evaluate this value. This is what is the expression you will get, right? From this you can very well simplify and get the value of A plus B. Okay. It will be 5. Okay. A plus B will be 5. But the idea is this. Okay. Idea is the usage of sum of R natural number giving a value n. Okay. Yes, we will move to the next question. So 23rd question, they have given that this is one equation, y equal to x square, and this also you eliminate this root and square it on both sides. Y square equal to x is what is the equation. Okay. And mod x doesn't make any sense in the first quadrant. Just keep it as x. Okay. So this will be one parabola, right? And this will be another parabola. Okay. What they are asking is the region enclosed by the curves. These two curves. Okay. These two curves, there will be some region enclosed, right? That is what they are asking. This region basically. Okay. For that, what you can do is first find the point of intersection, right? What will be that? 1, 1, right? 1, 1 is the point of intersection. So, and see, these are the two parabolas. In first quadrant, if I take, this is the first parabola, this is the second parabola, right? The intermediate area is what? The area sandwich between the two parabolas I want, okay. And I will divide that area into two equal halves, okay, by a straight line y equal to x. Due to symmetry, it will be divided, right? And now what I will do is I will find the area of the outer triangle and subtract it with this area so that I will get the half of required area, okay. This area I will get from here to here I will get, right? This area I will get it, right? By what? Subtracting the area bounded by the lower curve from the area of triangle. What will be the area of triangle? Half, right? Minus what you have to subtract? Area bounded by the lower parabola. What it is? It is actually y equal to x square, okay? Y equal to x square. So it will be what? Integral 0 to 1 x square dx. That will be what? X cubed by 3. That will be, when you put the lower limit at 0, it will be only the upper limit, that will be what? 1 by 3. So half minus 1 by 3 is this area, half of the required area, right? Half of the required area is half minus 1 by 3, right? Full required area will be what? Twice of that, no? So this area is basically half minus 1 by 3, that is 1 by 6. So double that will be 1 by 3, right? That is what is the entire required area is what? 1 by 3. This is 1 by 6 and this is another 1 by 6. So A is 1 by 3. 9A will be what? 9 into 1 by 3, that is 3, okay? Yes. Right, the answer should be 3. Yes, this is the 24th question. See, from this we can very well say that this condition, if you see, you can very well say that we can write x as this, okay? X as, how we can write? F of g of x, okay? Because one happens to be inverse of the other, you can write it in this way, right? So when you differentiate on both sides, LHS will be 1, RHS will be what? F dash of gx, right? Into g, or you can write it in this way also. X can be written as well as this f of g of f of x, okay. So when you differentiate on both sides, what you get? 1 equal to g dash of fx into f dash x, okay. F dash x, right? Right, this is what you will be getting. So you can say that g dash of fx is same as 1 by f dash x, right? G dash of fx is same as 1 by f dash x, okay. See, clearly x is equal to 5 by 2 will be a root of both these expressions, this expression as well as this expression, okay. So f of 5 by 2 will be what? F of 5 by 2 will be root of the third expression alone you have to evaluate. It will be what? 3. F 5 by 2 will be 3. So g dash of what they are asking is 2g dash of 3, no, that is same as 2g dash of f of 3, right? And g dash of fx is what? Same as 1 by f dash x, right? So it will be what? 2 by f dash of x. At what value? When you got f3, when x is 5 by 2. So you put here also as 5 by 2. Okay. So it will be 2 by f dash of 5 by 2. 2 by f dash of 5 by 2 will be what? F dash of 5 by 2 will again, these two terms will however vanish. So the derivative of this alone, it will be what? 1 by 2 root x, no? For root x, it will be 1 by root of 4x minus 1 and into 4, right? And there is 1 by 2 root x, no? With that 2 this will get cancelled, and with this 2 it will get cancelled. It will be basically again root of this only, right? 4x minus 1. So what will be the value of this? It will be 3. So that is the answer. Okay. 3 is the answer. The 25th question, this is from 3D geometry. They are giving that foot of perpendicular drawn from this point 1, 0, 3 to a line, right, which passes through alpha, 7, 1, and the foot of perpendicular is given to be 5 by 3, 7 by 3, and 17 by 3. See, the idea is very clear. If you take the dot product of this vector with this vector, by subtracting the drs, you can find these two vectors. If you take the dot product, it will be 0. What will be the first vector? It will be 2 by 3 I cap, right, plus 7 by 3 j cap, plus 7 minus 9 upon 3. That is what? 8 by 3 k cap, right? This is this vector. And what about this vector? It will be 3 alpha minus 5 by 3 I cap, right? Likewise, it will be what? Plus 21 minus 7 is 14 by 3 j cap, right? Plus 1 minus 17 by 3 is what? Minus 14 by 3 k cap. See, when you take the dot product, obviously you should get a 0 because they are perpendicular, right? So you ignore the denominator because where you are going to multiply it with the RHS, that is 0. So you will be ending up with 0 only. Just multiply the numerators of all these. 6 alpha minus 10, right? Plus 98 minus 14 into 8 is what? It is 112, right? That is 0. That means what? 122 minus 98 is the value of 6 alpha, right? That is 24 is 6 alpha, okay? So what will be alpha value? It will be 4. Okay? 4 is the answer. Alpha equal to 4. So yes, thank you so much for joining the session. All the best.